It's recording. Audience.
Hello, my name is Blake Chambers, and I'm here today to talk to you about caffeine and the positive and negative effects that it has on your body. Caffeine is a natural drug and grows in some plants such as tea and coffee. It has one positive effect, which is to give you energy, but only temporarily, which leads me to the negative effects that caffeine has on your body. It makes you jittery, and sometimes, in some cases, it can make people dizzy. It makes you shaky, and it also gives you difficulty sleeping. It also keeps you from having a good night's sleep, and it's hard to fall asleep at night. It makes your heart beat faster, so if you have heart problems, people with heart problems need to avoid caffeine at all costs. It can cause an unsafe heart rhythm, and it can really disrupt your normal heart rhythm, and it can raise your blood pressure. It can cause headaches, nervousness, and dizziness. And one of the major effects that caffeine has on your body, especially with summer coming up, you need to remember that it can make you dehydrate 10 times faster. And caffeine is the type of drug that you can get severely addicted to, and it makes you dependent on that drug. And it is one of the most addicting drugs in the world is caffeine. And it can cause withdrawals. Again, I say people with heart problems do not need to use caffeine. People who have anxiety and panic attacks need to avoid caffeine at all costs because it can also make them feel worse. They take it thinking it's going to give them temporary relief, but instead it makes them feel worse in the long run. Caffeine is known as a diuretic, which means that it makes your body lose water at a higher rate, which causes dehydration. According to the FDA, 4 to 7 cups of coffee in one day is entirely too much. It can severely harm your body. From the FDA website, I have constructed a list of amounts of caffeine in certain beverages and food items. 150 milliliters, which is the equivalent of 5 ounces of coffee, contains approximately between 60 and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Decaf coffee contains 2 to 5 milligrams of caffeine. Tea, a 150 milliliter portion, can contain 40 to 80 milligrams of caffeine. Hot cocoa, 150 milliliters, can contain 1 to 8 milligrams of caffeine. Chocolate milk, 225 milliliters, which is approximately 12 ounces, can contain 2 to 7 milligrams of caffeine. There's a soda known as Jolt Cola. 12 ounces of Jolt Cola contains 100 milligrams of caffeine. That's 1 can of soda. Mountain Dew, 12 ounces, contains 55 milligrams of caffeine. Coca-Cola, 12-ounce can, contains 64 milligrams of caffeine. Coca-Cola Classic, 12 ounces, contained 23 milligrams of caffeine. Dr. Pepper, 12-ounce can, contains 61 milligrams of caffeine. 12-ounce can of Mellow Yellow contains 35 milligrams of caffeine. Now we're moving on to some food items that may contain caffeine in them, mostly sweets, and it is very harmful to your body. 1 cup of Starbucks coffee-flavored ice cream contains 40 to 60 milligrams of caffeine. Believe it or not, candy bars have caffeine in them as well. For example, the Kit Kat bar. 1 Kit Kat bar contains 5 milligrams of caffeine. And my favorite, the Butterfinger, contains 2.4 milligrams of caffeine. Baby Ruth also contains 2.4 milligrams of caffeine. A 1.25 ounce chocolate brownie contains 8 milligrams of caffeine. Bittersweet chocolate, 1 ounce of bittersweet chocolate contains anywhere between 5 and 35 milligrams of caffeine. So we consume caffeine in our everyday lives. Sometimes it's hard to avoid it because we don't know it's there. but it is, and we ought to take precautions to try to at least limit the use of caffeine in our bodies, because it is very harmful to you. My name is Blake Chambers, and I thank you for your time. Have a great day.